Yup, we're going over cryptids. You did not make a mistake. This is not a Wendigoon video. No. We're going to be going over cryptids every day, everybody. Throughout all of my tier list, my videos, going through SCPs, analog horror, I have neglected the original SCPs. Cryptids, okay? I've said this multiple times. If you've been watching my videos for a while, I'm fascinated by cryptids. And not just that, I think the forest was the original backrooms, okay? We're over here talking about, oh yeah, if I phased through reality and was walking through hallways and they were infinite, that would really freak me out. Brother, you are right next door to the original subliminal horror. Outdoors, okay? The forest is terrifying. Water is terrifying. I want you to think about that, okay? And to make it even more scary, throughout the centuries, we have created backroom entities for the forest. That is what cryptids are. That is the best way I can describe it to you for the modern audience, okay? And I was thinking through the best ways to make this video. Do I just make one video where I rush through all the cryptids? Where I'm just like, Goatman A tier, Mothman S tier. No. The best way to make this video that I have found is to go through every single state, one by one, going through their biggest and best hits, okay? Because I am not even kidding you, in researching for this video, I have found that there are 1,200 accepted cryptids for the great US of A, not even other countries, bro. We haven't even talked about Mexico, Canada. No, 1,200 in the great US of A, brother, okay? Absolutely not. You are not convincing me to go into the woods. And in this video, I want to go over the greatest and best hits of my home state, Michigan. Okay? All Michigan boys are jumping up right now, okay? In this video, I want to go over the greatest and best hits of this state, go in-depth review their history, everything about it. This is definitely going to be a longer video. So put me on in the background, clean up the house, and listen to me talk about cryptids, okay? Enough with the long-winded intro, okay? Please consider a like, comment, subscribe, 50K bit by the end of the year. And before we get to the end of the video, if you have a state, if you have a home state that you would like me to do, put it in the comment section down below. The state that gets the most likes is going to be the next state to do in the tier list. And with all that out of the way, let's get started with the cryptid tier list of Michigan. The Dewey Lake Monster. First look out of here. I already know this is probably a grizzly bear, okay? If not a grizzly bear, this is an oversized black bear, okay? I'm just gonna say it right now. Michigan has bears, but people forget that, so every once in a while, when like an old couple sees a black bear, they're like, oh, demon! No, Meredith. It's not a demon, it's a bear, okay? And the Dewey Lake Monster, coming from Dewey Lake, one of the 1,200 lakes that we have, we're going to be going over today. The Dewey Lake Monster is the name given to a large bipedal creature approximately 10 feet tall and weighing about 500 pounds, which first gained wide notoriety in June 1964 after several reported sightings near Dewey Lake in Dogwagak. Oh my gosh, bro, I'm going to get crucified with some of these pronunciations. Michigan. It is also referred to as the Michigan Bigfoot and Sister Lakes Sasquatch. Yes. We do have our own version of Bigfoot, and I was going to put Bigfoot on here. The problem is, brother, that's not Bigfoot. That is Carnivorous Joe, okay? He looks like he would beat up Bigfoot. Dog, he has mutton hands, okay? Like, bro's gonna put the paws on Bigfoot, okay? 10 feet, 500 pounds, bro. This is the Tyson Fury of the Bigfoots, okay? And I'm down to hear more. 1964, okay? It's not like we've ever made a mistake back then. No. Let's go over this, shall we? The beast has already been known in locals in the area for several years prior to June 1964 events and was rumored to dwell primarily along a 15-mile stretch of swampland extending from Dowagiac, Sister Lakes, Decatur, Michigan, along Dewey Lake Street. However, in 1964, it gained the national attention of the United States after several notable attacks and sightings prompt investigation by the authorities, which in turn resulted in coverage by national newspapers and caused a flood of curious thrill seekers and monster hunters to besiege the local community in the summer of '64. If you get me to 100,000 subscribers, I will visit some of these cryptids. cross on my arm. It'll have to be only a few of these because we have a ton of them. But I will definitely go to Dewey Lake to hunt down the Dewey Lake Monster if you wish. 100k subs though. Before that, nah. Though the monster was never captured, I wonder why. Dude, imagine if we captured it though. Like, and we just have, boom, carnivorous Bigfoot just chilling in Dewey Lake. Like, dog, if you are Bigfoot in Michigan, you gotta survive Michigan winter, and Michigan winter is certified bullshit, okay? He's built different, okay? To quote Game of Thrones, okay? The North makes the men stronger. I think that's how that quote went. Though the monster was never covered, nor the mystery resolved, footprints were photographed in plaster casts taken as well as sketches rendered. Why do I feel like if I go to Dewey Lake, I'm going to see some, like, comically... Like, the sketch that I've been showing you right here, that is one of the sketches, okay? Which is also... That's terrifying. I'm not even gonna lie. But, like, we have carnivorous Bigfoot, dog. I hope there's a museum in Dewey Lake. Former cast counter Seraph Paul Paris was quoted in saying, "It was one of the strangest times in his 33 years of southwestern Michigan law enforcement." He added, "We investigated it long and hard, but we never are able to come up with whatever it was. But some good, honest, legitimate people reported it." Yeah, I don't see no problem. It's not like they were fucking hitting the whippets back down by the creek. And they're talking about how they see a carnivorous Bigfoot, which mysteriously kind of seems like a black bear. Yes, no. I'm like half joking, brother. Please, if you're part of my fan base, do not do whippets, okay? It kills your brain cells, okay? If you have to take one thing from here, don't do whippets by the creek. That is like smoking a cigarette while putting gas in your car. I didn't think I had to say that, but just don't do it. That's your quick PSA for the video. The mystery remains to this day, as do the sightings. Perhaps the most curious aspect of this case is that the people who witnessed the beast are still reluctant to discuss what they saw. They only want to forget it and are not interested in having their names associated with the thing they encountered. Okay, immediate thoughts. I love the design, okay? I love that it's just a carnivorous Bigfoot. It's a different enough. Is it quite part of the goats? No. I have another creature that I would argue should be among the goat. However, it's just carnivorous Bigfoot, and the lore is not quite there. I'm aware that a lot of the lore of Sasquatch is completely and utterly fabricated. However, at least they were original. I'm going to put this one in good. I'm going to be a tough critic because I know some of the heavy hitters that are coming. I'm going to put in good. It's slightly different Bigfoot. The lore is lacking. But outside of that, good. The Lake Ontario Serpents. Okay, for anybody that's from Michigan that's going to get mad at me, let me explain. Okay, we have so many lake monsters, okay? Not to flex or anything on anywhere else in the world, bro. We have more freshwater near us than 99% of the entirety of the landmass on Earth, okay? If we wanted to give you our lake water, we'd be able to supply the entire world for, I think it was like 20 years. But you ain't touching our lake, buds. And because we have Lake Ontario Serpents, they have a few names. We got Nessie, we got Pressy, and we got George, okay? We have 3 serpents, but they think they're the same thing, or they're like part of a family. The lore is deep, brother. Let's get into it. The Lake Ontario Serpent is a Canadian lake monster. No! Canada cannot have our lakes. No. You can barely... Listen. Canada is just diet America. 95% of your entire population is within 30 miles of our border. Dog, you are like no, I barely recognize Canada as a country. What do y'all even do, actually, bro? You guys are just our, like, mooching neighbor, okay? If you were a roommate, you are 100% using our Netflix login. You are eating our food, dog. Stay away. It's our lakes, dog. Get away from us. There are many sightings for this creature, as well as a local legend ranging from children's story, settlers' tales, and modern sightings. The one thing that all the sightings have in common is they tell of a very long, serpent-like creature. The creature is known by the names such as many variant names such as the Gaiasa de Thea. Holy shit. Wow. I already know I said that wrong. Metrosaurus, the King's Tie, the Kingston, the east side of the lake. The creature or creatures could be inhabiting most of the Great Lakes too. This is because there are some sightings of a long eel-like monster, and all the lakes are connected in some way. And listen, I know I'm going to be skipping out on a lot of these, but I'm going to be real with you. It's just Nessie. Like, I did a little quick read through because there's like 4 paragraphs of sightings, okay? And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Do I think it's kind of cool that we have sightings going all the way back to 1850? Yes, okay? And listen, if you've ever been by the Great Lakes, it is such an astonishingly big lake. It is the biggest lake you will ever see in your life, okay? I'm from here, and the Great Lakes scare me, okay? Because I'm aware of some of the bullshittery that lives in it, okay? There was a time, there was like a 3-year stretch, where they thought a fucking tiger, a tiger shark got into the Great Lakes, swam up rivers to get into the Great Lakes, and we immediately thought to ourselves, holy shit, we're cooked, the predators found us. Doug, I remember I was swimming in Lake Michigan, and a fucking catfish came out of nowhere and whacked me in the face as I was swimming. And that has forever traumatized me to the point of, there are things that can take me out in these waters. Also, terrifying, you know what they think it is? Like, the modern day, thought processes on what they think our lake monsters are? 25-foot sturgeons. A sturgeon is like the alpha build of dinosaurs, bro. It is an armored fist. A 25-foot armored fist is one of the most terrifying things I've ever thought. Dog, that's terrifying, okay? There are certain animals that I just nope away from, and when it comes to water animals, it's dolphins because they'll probably SA you, it's sharks because they're probably going to eat you, and then there's sturgeons because they're just armored fists. And they're so massive that people think that they're lake monsters because they forget just how terrifying the water is, okay? I'll say it once, I said it twice, I'll say it again. If there is a place where the light of the fucking sun cannot reach 20 feet below it, you probably aren't meant to go there. Because, like in Lion King, the kingdom is everything that the light touches. If the light doesn't touch it, it's not ours, brother. Okay? Where am I putting this? Listen, I'm gonna make a lot of people mad with this one. It's lazy. It is. No. Do something more with it. Let it summon some lightning. It's just a big lake creature. Like, don't get me wrong, I suspected it, but we have cooler shit. I'm not impressed by lake monsters, I really am not, so that's why I'm gonna put it in meh. They're all the same, bro. And I'll tell you a lake monster that I'm actually proud of in a second, but this one I'm not proud of, and Michigan can do better. It can, and trust me, we will make it up. Watch. The Mishipeshu, or the Underwater Panther. Yeah! We got Black Panther underwater. I told you we can make it come back. And this thing looks sick, bro. It just does. We have Native American lore. Thank you very much. Like, I'm going to be real with you. You can see my skin color. I am like a European mutt. However, it may not look it. Great-great-grandparents were a Ojibwe. Not Ojibwe. Ojibwe or Chippewa. It was one of those, okay? I'm a little mutt. I'll be real with you. I'll never claim it. However, the lore is there. I am the product of cowboys and Native Americans. As you can tell, we did not win. But we're going to get into this. The underwater panther, called the Mishipeshu or the Mishipeshu in Ojibwe, is one of the most important to several mythological water beings among many indigenous peoples in the northwestern woodlands and Great Lakes region, particularly among the Isaibe. Listen, let me just say this. I'm sorry if I pronounce these just horrifically wrong, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. Listen, just take it easy on me, because the pronunciation looks like fucking algebra symbols. Like, how am I supposed to say that, bro? I'm sorry, okay? I'll make it up to you, though. You automatically go in B tier based off of you have Native American lore. Native American lore, I've said this multiple times, is so fascinating. The only mistake that y'all made is y'all didn't write it down, okay? I know, like, the Europeans get a lot of shit for it, and listen, they did their stuff. I'm not saying there wasn't. Y'all quite literally just didn't write almost anything down. Most of your lore was verbal stories, and that's awesome, don't get me wrong. But you can't say shit like, oh yes, the Mishipeshu, water panther, and then just not elaborate on that, dog. Write it down. We need the lore, brother. The Mishipeshu translates to the Great Lynx. It has the head and paws of a giant cat, but it is covered in scales, and has dagger-like spikes running along its back and tail. The Mishipeshu is called the Mishipeshu Island in Lake Superior, his home. I'm open to traveling near there. Like, Lake Superior is probably one of the worst of the Great Lakes. However, I'd be down to take a little road trip for 100K. I would do that. 100K subs. I would take a little trip to see the Mishipeshu. That'd be pretty dope. A powerful creature in the mythology and the mythological traditions of some Native American tribes, particularly the Anishinaabe. Oh my, I'm so sorry, dude. Tribes, the Obawa, Ojibwe, and Powhatan. I actually said those right. Or the Great Lakes region of Canada and the United States. In addition to the Anishinaabe, Innu also has a Mishipeshu. I'm struggling, dog. I'm struggling, man. I'm so sorry, man. I swear I'm not being... I'm trying, dog. To the Algonquin, the underwater panther was the most powerful underworld being. The Ojibwe traditionally held them to be the masters of water creatures, including snakes. Some versions of the Nanaboso creation legend refers to whole communities of waterlings. Some archaeologists believe that the underwater panthers were major components of the southeastern ceremonial complex of the Mississippian culture, or the prehistoric Michigan Southeast. Let's go over the description really quick, okay? In mythology of the indigenous peoples of the Great Lakes, the underwater panther are described as water monsters that live in opposition to the thunderbirds. You understand what I'm saying, brother? The lore. We have water panthers versus thunderbird beefs? And you're just going to... Masters of powers of the air, the underwater panthers are seen as the opposing yet complementary force to the thunderbirds, and they are engaged in an internal conflict. The underwater panther was an amalgam of parts from many animals: the body of a wild feline, often a cougar or lynx, the horns of a deer or bison, the upright scales on its back, occasionally feathers, or parts from other animals as well, depending on the particular myth. Underwater panthers are represented with exceptionally long tails, occasionally with serpentine properties. The creatures are thought to roar or hiss in the sounds of storms or rushing rapids. It makes the sound of thunder, dude. That's dope. That's just cool. The Mishipeshu was said to live in the deepest parts of lakes and rivers, where they can cause storms. Some traditions believe that the underwater panthers are to be helpful, protective creatures, but more often they were viewed as malevolent beasts that brought death and misfortune. They often need to be placated for safe passage across the lake. As late as 1950s, the Prairie Band of the Potawatomi Indians performed a traditional ceremony to placate the underwater panther and maintain balance with the underworld panther. Balance with the thunderbird. I'm sorry, bro. That's dope. Okay. Great. It goes in great. Is it our best one? No. Okay? We have a few heavy hitters. This one's definitely going in great. The lore is dope. It's an underwater panther. Has beef with the thunderbird. It has a lot of lore with the Ojibwe people. Like, come on. Ojibwe, Chippewa, they were like, this guy is the op of the thunderbird, which is like the highest being. So I'm going to say, great. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with me on this one. I think that's a very valid placement. The Michigan Dogman. Let's go, boys. Ooh, this is our guy. The Michigan Dogman is a werewolf or werewolf-type creature first reported in 1885 in Wexford County, Michigan. Sightings have been reported in several locations throughout Michigan, primarily in the northwestern quadrant of the Lower Peninsula. In 1987, the legend of the Michigan Dogman gained popularity when a disc jockey recorded a song and the creature in its reported sightings. Okay, let's get into this, boys. Steve Cook recorded a song named The Legend with the keyboard backing and credited Bob Farley. After he played the song, Cook received calls from listeners who said they have encountered a similar creature. And the next weeks after Cook first played the song, it was the most requested song on the station. He also sold cassettes of the song for $4. Damn, bro, we got hit so hard. $4, man, that's crazy to me. Sorry. And donated the proceeds from a single to an animal shelter. Yes! Over the years, Cook has received more than 100 reports of Creature's existence. Cook later added verses to the song in 1997 after hearing a report of an animal break-in by an unknown canine at a cabin in Luther, Michigan. He re-recorded it again in 2007 for the mandolin backing. Okay, you're milking the song a little bit. How many times do you gotta re-record the song just for you to add more lore? I'm sorry, that's dope that we have a creature that has a theme song, make no mistake about it. But how many times... This is like remaking the Scooby-Doo theme song every single time. I'm sorry, the greatest Scooby-Doo theme song of all time without even a... Like, not even a question. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Like, come on, that's the go. Like, you don't have to keep on remaking it, man. The first known sighting of the Michigan Dogman was in 1887 in Wexford County when two lumberjacks saw a creature whom they described as having a man's body and a dog's head. Ooh, let's get it. In 1938 in Paris, Michigan, Robert Forney was attacked by 5 wild dogs. 5 wild dogs? Are you good? And said that one of the 5 wild... So he just strolls around with like 4 other dog homies and is like, jump him! And then they just all go at it, and he's over here like, yeah, bro, beat his ass. And he just starts curb stomping you too. The reports of similar creatures also came from Allegan County in the 1950s and Manistee and Cross Village in 1967. Linda S. Godfrey, bro, that's an Elden Ring ass name right there. In her book, The Beast of Bray Road, compares the Manistee sightings and a similar creature sighted in Wisconsin known as the Beast of Bray Road. Get out of here, you can't be around, dude. Wisconsin, stick to your cheese. We're keeping the Dogman. However, there's a little bit of a hoax associated with the Dogman. In 1987, the disc jockey Steve Cook, Traverse City, Michigan, recorded a song titled The Legend, which he initially played as an April Fool's Day joke. However, he based it on verses of actual reports of the creature. Bliss Candle considers the Michigan Dogman a hoax. Well, Bill doesn't know anything. Bill is an absolute goober. He doesn't want to accept our culture. The Dogman appears every few years, and you know what? We're gonna get footage of him somehow, someway. Who knows? Listen, Michigan Dogman, a goat. He goes among the goats, bro. The best cryptid of every state gets to go in the goats, okay? We'll probably have around 50 by the end of it. We also have a Wendigo. Mothman comes up here for vacations, but the Dogman is a year-round staple, okay? I don't even think that's controversial, okay? The Leelanau Lake Monster. This one I'm not proud of, but, he's kind of cool, I guess. Sometimes known as the Carp Lake, Lake Leelanau, which translated from the local Ojibwa language as the Light of Life, actually consists of 2 adjacent lakes, which are located in Leelanau County, Michigan, and North Lake has a report. Give me the lore of the creature. I'm sorry. I try not to read these before, but I need the monster, okay? The creature that supposedly dwells beneath their muddy depths is anything but. Said to have a long stump-like neck, an equally long tail, and 2 abnormally large eyes. There are but a handful of details of which to paint the picture of the beast. Still, in this case, a lack of particulars can be almost as telling as a plethora of adjectives. Most notable is the fact that the animal has never been associated with the prototypical plesiosaur-like beast, or any of the other reported extinct creatures, and normally reputed to live in a large, fresh body of water that indicates, unlike the vast majority of lake monster reports, this animal may belong to an unclassified species or genus of monster. According to the local legend, the beast is first appeared in Lake Leelanau. Dam was built in late 1800s. The dam, which was designed to provide power to Leland Sawmill, effectively sealed up the lake's outlet, and according to various sources, also managed to seal the monster along with it. This is where I don't like the monster. It looks like a piece of fucking driftwood. And I'm sorry, bro. A creature that just looks like driftwood, y'all were roasting it in the community tab. You said, Michigan is one of those places where we got the biggest lakes in the world, but one of our cryptids is legitimately just a snapping turtle. And I'll be real, there's not too much lore outside of it. I have to put him somewhere, and I'm gonna put him in lane, bro. It's probably just driftwood. It most likely is just a driftwood, which, I'm sorry, of all the ones that I've gone over, this is a certified miss, absolute disgrace of a cryptid. I'm sorry I'm roasting you, but at the same time, bro, you probably never existed. You were just a piece of... Now, to go something a little bit more lighthearted, the Melon Head, or, I'm gonna be real, he looks like Nutsack Brain to me. What the hell is even that? I love that it's not even like an alien, it's just a deformed person. Like, dog, there could have been a person with just like a deformed forehead, and we just started roasting him for the next 100 years, bro. That's awful. Melon Heads is the name given to the legendary beings that live in the forest of Michigan, Connecticut, and Ohio. Different variations of the legend attribute different origins to them. The creature is said to appear vaguely human with a bulbous melon-like head. Oh boy. The Melon Heads of Michigan are said to reside around Felt, Madison, although they had been reportedly seen in southern forests areas of Ottawa County. According to one story, they were originally children with They are actually deformed people. What the hell? Hydrophilus who lived in Junction Insane Asylum near Felt, Madison. Ooh! So we got deformed people that escaped from an insane asylum in Michigan. Let's go! The story explains that after enduring physical and emotional abuse, they became feral mutants. Duh! And were released into the forest. Duh! What type of place was Michigan that they were like, yo, yeah, you know those, like, insane, deformed people that we accepted that just have, like, the nutsack brains? Yeah, bro, release them into the woods. Sick 'em, boys, and you just see, like, brother, that's insane. The Elysian County Historical Society asserts that the asylum never existed, although it was at one point a prison. Okay, well, that's not much better, bro. Like, I'm sorry, like, that isn't much better. The legend says that children devised a plan to escape and kill the doctor who abused them. It is said that the children had no place to hide the body, so they cut it up into small pieces, which they hid around Madison. Rumors exist that teenagers who had broken into the Madison saw ghosts of the children claimed to see shadows of the killing of the doctor through light coming from an open door. The legend has spread throughout the region and is becoming the subject of a 2011 film simply titled The Melon Heads, which is based around the West Michigan legend. Considering I never heard of that movie, it probably absolutely stunk a dookie. I kind of like the lore around this one, though. I'm gonna put it, it's good. It's a good creature. I'm not mad at it. It's nothing too good. It's I don't know why the asylum stories, like, I'm trying not to laugh. Like, the thought that, like, oh yeah, the Melon Heads are a bunch of abused patients at an insane asylum, and they escaped, and then now they roam the woods. And then, like, the mayor of Michigan's like, yeah, well, the asylum never existed. Shut up, Paul! Okay, it was a prison. So, I don't know why that makes me laugh, but the thought that we just misconstrued that entire story and then just been like, yeah, I understand they've been, like, abused and shit, but, like, still, ew. And to end off the Michigan best hitters, I've thought no better creature than the Red Dwarf or the Nine Roos, okay? The Nine Roos, or French for Red Dwarf, also called the Demon of the Strait, is a legendary creature of Detroit, Michigan area whose appearance is said to presage misfortune. Its origins in the early French settlement of Detroit are proposed as deriving from a northern French tale of the Luton, a type of hobgoblin, along with Native American legends of an impish offspring of the stone god. Let's go! We get lore to the Red Dwarf for Detroit. I'm sorry, bro, as a guy who's been, like, he looks like a really dope mascot for, like, any type of gambling company or any type of, like, alcohol brand. No lie, that seems badass to me. The history. There used to be a Native American venerated idol in the area of Detroit that was destroyed by the first French Christian missionaries in 1670. It was reputed to have been called the Manitou idol of the natives. The idol was reputed to have been a humanoid shape and was said to have been painted red and decorated by the local Erie native band. It was reputed to have been broken up by an axe that had been first blessed and consecrated by the missionary priest of François Dallier de Casson and René de Brahart de Gallienne. Wow, if I said that right, give me a subscribe for that. The region was said to be cursed by the natives following the priest's disrespect of their culture. You can't be doing that, bro. They got all that lore, man. And they're gonna hit you with the Red Dwarf, okay? Marie Caroline Watson Hamlin, too many fucking names, 1888 Legends of Le Detroit described the Nine Roos as a dwarf, very red in the face with a bright, glistening eye. Instead of burning, it froze. Instead of possessing depth, emitted a cold gleam like a reflection from a polished surface. No lie, that's like a really good, like, that's actually kind of cool. It just emanates cold as it's coming in. I like that little thing. I like that. I like the weird little added powers that they gave it. It emanates cold. Bewildering and dazzling, all who came within its focus, and grinning mouth displayed a sharp, pointed teeth, complementing the strange face. Other accounts describe the Nine Roos as a small creature with red or black fur covering an animal's body, but with the face of an old man. I already don't like old people, so old fur face, automatically you're getting it. Blazing red eyes and rotten teeth. Okay, so it was probably just an old person. According to some scholars, the legend of the Nine Roos has its origins in local Native American beliefs of spirit creatures that inhabited the region, which were subsequently retold by European colonists. So we just took over the myth, is what I'm hearing here. Legend holds that the Nine Roos' appearance would presage terrible events for the city. Did it, by any chance, predict, Ford Motor Company leaving Detroit? If that happened, this automatically is going pretty high. The creature is said to have been appeared in July 30th, 1763, before the Battle of Bloody Run, where 58 British soldiers were killed by Native Americans from Chief Pontiac's Ottawa tribe. Supposedly, the Nine Roos danced among the corpses of the bank of the Detroit River after the battle, and the river turned red with blood for days after. According to the tale, old misfortunes of Governor and General William Hall, leading to the surrender of Detroit in the War of 1812, were blamed on the Nine Roos. Yeah, it's not America's fault. It's the fucking Red Dwarf, boys. I kind of dig it. I dig it. So, it comes from a Native American legend, taken over by, like, the Christian missionaries. It probably wasn't, like, meant to look like a devil, but, like, we saw Red Dwarf, and we automatically thought, nope, hobgoblin demon creature, and that's what we made it into. I kind of like that he's, like, our, like, off-brand Mothman. I kind of dig that. I think as far as creativity, he has, like, a little power of emanating cold. We have a lore going all the way back to the first wars between the British and the Native Americans. We have a little bit of 1812 beef, and he's chilling out in Detroit. He has to be the only creature that I know of that actually wants to be by Detroit. So I'm going to say bottom of great. As far as what we've covered so far, listen, we got the Appalachian creatures, we got the creatures by Nevada, we got a lot of cryptids to get through. I think as of right now, this is the best ranking that I have. And if you have a state, if you have a home state that you would want me to do, you want me to do a Georgia, some Appalachian creatures, the Mothman next. Pick the state and put it in the comment section down below. The state that gets the most likes in the comment section down below will be the next one that I do for the Cryptid tier list. And with all that out of the way, please consider a like, comment, subscribe. It means the absolute most to me. 50K by the end of the year is the goal. We are on track for that because of you guys. And with all that out of the way, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you have a great day. Adios, everybody.